Normally we're just, I'm in my situation, I typically just do it once because they all have audio.
Yeah.
But this was good. I know.
Yeah. And this is like interactive. You're engaged now.
I am.
We clapped.
Yes.
You've got me to participate actively. All right.
Awesome. And I'm very grateful that you're both participating here with us today in the recording station.
Yeah, happy to be here.
We have Violet and Justine.
Hi.
That are joining us. Do you have a group name or something? Like
we're not so much of a group as we are just like a bunch of people who like have a shared purpose and are using the same techniques and tools and for the same purposes anyway.
That's true, which is maybe better than even having like a pre-assembled group. We're like under a shared purpose.
Yeah. Do we mean is it because then it's like the Zcash Avengers or something, and like I don't want to. I don't know. We're gonna get a cease and desist, and it's gonna be also. It's just a little. I just feel like at that point we're like going into Ubermensch territory, and that's with Germany where it's too much.
Let's
it's too much.
Away from that.
Yeah, let's not do it.
So yeah, we are in Germany. We are in Berlin right now. We're at the Blockspäti, and we're having a great time. It's a Web Zero event, and this event is largely happening because of Violet's work, Milo's work, bringing Justine here, and sponsoring the event by Zcash. And you're doing all sorts of workshops here. You're doing all sorts of mingling. Tell us a bit more. Like, we'll start with Violet, the veteran here.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so tell us about your Blockspäti experience.
Oh my God. Okay, so the Blockspäti came about because we have been going to a bunch of these cryptocurrency conferences, in some parts not sponsored by Zcash, but then eventually getting Zcash on board. And it all began because I started using Zcash and the Zotto wallet and all the tools like Near that were built into it for my own work and my own business like 2 years ago or so, and learning how to do that and then sharing what I was doing with my friends, which turned into workshops that got sponsored by some very generous donations and later on some grants from the ZCG, the Zcash Community Grants Foundation or board. And then they started sending us to conferences to also share that there, just to network and to know folks. And then we met the Web Zero people who host some of the best parties and the most fun raves.
Yep.
We were at Consensus. We talked to them there. They had the Block Space parties over there. They had the Block Church in Denver, and onwards and on. Anyway, so we did a bunch of partying and a bunch of meeting people and a bunch of just talking about how Zcash fits into all of the things that are now becoming day-to-day experiences in my life. And we were like, okay, we got to host our own like major event. And then when we thought about who we wanted to work with to throw an event that would be, it's the idea is not that we're going to talk your ear off for 2 days. The idea is that you're going to come meet people, have conversations, network in the corner, mingle, fall in love with anonymous money, and then fall in love here at the space. So people are just been enjoying partying, and we've got a bunch of interactive activities to do, like how to receive and spend money here. We've got a whole set of vendors, including jewelry and pottery and tattooing, a little like Blockspäti snack bar as well. And so these are just many different opportunities to actually use the wallet and the currency, and to, of course, start exchanging the currencies through the swaps. And so we're onboarding dozens and dozens of people, and they're also not just downloading an app and using it to like get in the door, but they're downloading an app to actually purchase something, experience how easy that is, and then leaving with an understanding of like why that's different than a credit card or an account that they're opening or something, because of also the talks that we have here, which are all like privacy related in some form or fashion. And that's later today. Actually, we have another whole sequence of events, of short talks, lightning talks from folks like the NIM VPN project and Phoenix, and the DarkFi project and Quip Network, and there's just like a whole range of them.
This is all going on today?
That's all today.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah, so that's later today.
Okay, excellent. And like, yeah, it does feel different to use Zcash, to use encrypted money to this, as opposed to using cash or your credit card or something like.
You can still use cash.
You can.
You in here? Yes.
You're still allowed to.
You're allowed to use cash. However, it's definitely. I think the different experience is that it's just as easy. And that's the thing that's different. Like, you go to a cryptocurrency event, right? And you're like, oh shit, now I gotta learn like how to navigate 3 different price charts to pay.
And not coming from a crypto background, yes. I mean, Zodal was like my first wallet and everything, and it's so incredibly easy to use. And then also as a person who like does markets, like if I was here, maybe I would be like one of the vendors selling like latex garments or something. It's incredibly easy to set up and use and like literally use right away.
And you showed several of the vendors how to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
To accept payments right then and there at the table. And we're not talking about downloading a POS and an inventory tracking system.
It's great. It's great. It's super quick and easy. Like, I wish I had it even sooner than I did have it. But yeah, it was a great experience talking to all of the vendors and everything, because I'm like, I also do this, and I know how important this is, and it's great to have privacy. Also people buying latex garments, great to have privacy on their end as well, typically.
It helps vendors. It also helps the buyers, the consumers.
Yeah.
So Justine, you said a couple of things that I wanted to dig a little more into.
Sure.
Like you mentioned Zottle, and was this like kind of your introduction to Zcash? Was the Zottle wallet, or were you kind of paying attention to Zcash before that?
No, I was not paying any attention before that. I think I took Vi's course maybe like several months ago, a year ago, probably like a year ago.
A little bit less than a year ago, I think, at this point. Yeah. It was just like, it was the 1 3-hour like intensive workshop that we did in New York.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, this is brilliant. I can implement this. I am one of those people who unfortunately had a fiat bank account frozen. And then I was like, okay, I need to run my business in a different way. And even people I know who do like online adult entertainment industry stuff, like so many of the major credit card companies, et cetera, hate us. So there needs to be another way. And this is so simple. It's simple to show people. It's simple to use. Like it's just become kind of like the way forward that I've also been able to teach people. So. Yeah,
that's awesome. That wallet really changed the whole space, the Zcash space, for sure.
Absolutely. And like I don't even describe it anymore often as just a wallet, but rather as like, if you are in a crypto native world, which is to say if you're only using cryptocurrencies, then it is really like the equivalent of your global debit card. In the same way that you can like take a Visa or a MasterCard around the world and you have access to, rupees or to pesos or whatever it is, currency, euros, dollars, and you go from one country to another and you tap your card and it's going to do a conversion for you on the fly so that you're paying in whatever currency the vendor's expecting to get. That is what Zottle's CrossPay does. So when you have you happen to, I don't know, hypothetically you end up at a rave in Argentina and they take only cash and Argentinian pesos, and they take Solana, and you're like, well, I don't have Solana, right? And also, I'm in Argentina at an underground rave. What am I going to do with cash? Like, I don't have. Obviously, my answer to that was, well, thank God I had Zottle, so I could just scan the Solana code. And even though I had no Solana wallet, I have no Solana at all. Paying from my shielded Zcash balance to Solana for that vendor got me drunk.
Perfect. So talking about this oddly specific hypothetical situation.
Hypothetically, entirely, allegedly, one day I was in Argentina.
Right. Plausible deniability. We've got it.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So Justine, is this your first event working with Violet and Milo, doing this kind of workshop thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. And you came on as part of this ECG funded team, and tell us more about like,
as
your
part
onboarding,
of the
as it were.
Avengers, so to speak. It's been a great experience. Love bonding with the team. Also, everyone's been great and super nice. Actually, also as part of a blockchain week event, I will say I'm like surprised at how many nice people are here, which is kind of a weird thing to say. Maybe
you're at a Zcash privacy event.
Exactly.
So like it's like the best corner.
Well, I
of
was
this world.
a little worried that it would be all like bro-y, and I was like, okay, like we'll see how I fit into this. But everyone's been great, and it's been great introducing people to Zcash and using it and stuff. Yeah. So.
Also, it's some of them are here too, and I think they get a filter bubble popped when they realize how much wider the world is. In those moments where it's like they're coming to talk about like financial instruments or like trading or they're very interested in talking about the price action, which has been kind of a roller coaster lately with Zcash, obviously, and that's fine.
Yeah,
and then
it's very like world expanding.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and it's been nice to talk to people about like real world applications, and then their eyes kind of like light up and they're like, oh, you use this, like you're like not a normal like crypto
I had that exact
person.
conversation with a guy who came and he was like, I normally do like investing and trading. And I was like, okay, so how many people who in your world, how many of you are using crypto on a day-to-day basis? And he was like, not really. And I was like, right. Because he asked me, how did you get good at this? And I said, well, Did not tell him everything. But I told him, I said, you know, a lot of the time when you're dealing with a financial instrument, you're building a thing for a large organization and you want like a multi-sig or you want some sort of enterprise IT solution that's going to handle $1 million, you know, workflow that's also going to be audited and all that jazz. Okay, I wanted to move like, you know, a couple $1,000s around so I could pay rent every month. And also, right, I wanted to get groceries. And also I wanted to get money in the form of like $100, $500, $1,000 at a time, not, you know, these big millions. And so doing that on a day-to-day basis when you have no option, which is the other thing. I was like, you got a bank account? He's like, yeah. I was like, great, I don't. So that was the mother of, necessity being the mother of invention. And he nodded with that. He was like, yeah, that actually makes sense, right? Because you actually needed to use it in the way you're using cash. So I said, you're building financial instruments. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that a normal individual doesn't need a financial instrument. They need a currency. And this is built for that. Other people are asking about the programmability of the money. And I said, you can't program currency. It's literally the digital equivalent of a piece of paper that you're passing around. There's no programming there unless you're really good with origami.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, even before coming here, when I was talking to people about Zcash in my life, they're like, oh, you're into like investing and stuff. You're doing a lot of crypto investing. And I was like, no, I literally spend it. Like I spend it like normal money. And they were like, wait, how you can do that? And I'm like, yeah, actually, in fact, I would prefer you pay me back for that dinner with Zcash. Like that would be great. So let's make that happen.
Yeah.
And the Zotto wallet enables, like you were talking about, Crosslink to be cross-pay. So Crosslink is the next thing they're working on.
Crosslink is that, yeah,
the
hybrid.
part thing,
Exactly.
Yeah. So cross-pay allows to pay in different cryptocurrencies and things. And then there's also the Spend wallet, I believe, that works in the States where you can pay at places that don't accept crypto. Have you had any experience with this?
You're probably talking about these like Visa, MasterCard, like payment card gateway integrations with crypto. Is that what you're talking about? Like Pay wallet?
No, there's a product by, I believe, the Gemini team called Spend, but the N and the D are switched, Spedin. And it lets people buy it like Chipotle and stuff. So there's always people posting pictures of the Chipotle receipts or the movie tickets.
Flexa style, Bitrefill,
Flexa,
store credit
that's the
stuff.
thing.
Flexa, yeah.
Spend is the name of the wallet. I think Flex is the bigger picture thing.
Flex is the service that enables it. So that's built into this wallet, which is awesome.
It is also in Zottle.
It's also in Zottle.
Okay.
Yeah. It's built into Zottle. If you have a Flex account, you can also use that directly and off-ramp via these gift cards. But basically what that actually is Zcash to store credit to the store. So that's one way out. And that obviously will avoid the payment card gateways because it goes right into the store systems. But it still is that like concentrator through the store credit system or Flexa itself. And then the other way that's a similar architecture, but that goes to any payment card, as in Visa, MasterCard, Discover, et cetera, are these crypto-backed credit cards, which is also an easy way to off-ramp because what you end up with is the experience of a reloadable debit card that you can actually have either a physical card or one of those like Google Pay, wallet, tap to pay on your phone things. Credit, debit style payment cards that will use the Visa or the MasterCard network to pay from your crypto balance. You typically have to KYC to all of those, actually, or at least to some degree. KYC light in the case of Flexa, email address or something. You can put in a disposable email address, but you didn't hear that from me. And then you spend, in the Visa situation, anywhere where Visa is accepted. And the point of doing it that way is that then, whilst you can pay, I pay rent this way, for example, you can pay with a card, a payment card processing network. You are not revealing the source of your funds. So you're just sort of like you're off-ramping an amount that is visible, but you're still funding it through your shielded Zcash balance. And you can even use CrossPay to pay the back end of that wallet. So earn Zec, which is usually the easiest way to on-ramp somebody who's already in a situation where we have trouble accepting payment from Cash App or PayPal or Venmo or Swift accounts or that kind of thing. And then you cross-pay into your crypto-backed credit card, and then you off-ramp by spending with the payment card.
Okay, all clear. Do you also teach about this off-ramping method in your workshops, or are you okay? So you try to cover all the bases as like if you want to accept anonymous encrypted magic internet money, this is how you can do it, and if you want to spend that and remain anonymous and keep using in magic internet.
Can I
money,
ask,
then-
what was like the most impactful part of the workshop that you attended? Like, what was the piece that we're like, wait, now it's actually usable? Can I ask that? Because now I'm just getting feedback from my own
I was
workshops.
actually going to say, if you haven't and you have a chance to, you should attend one of Vi's workshops because it's very comprehensive. I think that it was literally just like you took everyone through step by step, and it was like, this is a real thing that can really happen. So I don't know if there was an exact moment. Like, I don't actually think that there was. I really think it was just like literally just showing the pathway through the whole process from start to finish. I don't know if it was like I know you have like real money or whatever. It was like this is an entire process that can work from step A to step Z.
I tend to find that for some people, the obstacle is like one piece of it. They're like, okay, I think I can understand that I can accept crypto, but then what do I do with it? Or people are like, I know that like, this person said I can spend crypto, but to get like gift cards as a good example. We have BitRefill also sponsoring this event, and so that's a very, very useful off-ramp because it's unlike Flexa, which has like an integration with the wallet. You do have to go to like a BitRefill website and then pay on a website, but it's basically just a checkout system, and so you check out for any number of store credit gift cards that you'd like. But the point is that they maybe understand that they have the ability to spend their crypto, but then like, how do I get it? Like, how do I move money that I have to? How do I on-ramp? Or in our case, right, and this is, again, the way that I started earning crypto in the first place was, how do I get somebody who has it to pay me in it? Mm-hmm. And the big problem with that was, especially with Zcash, is most people haven't heard about Zcash still. It's really relatively new. So despite all that price action, like, we're early, folks.
Yeah, early.
Like, real early. But the point is that like if someone doesn't have shielded Zcash, and most of clients that I've ever worked, they don't understand. They also don't want to have a conversation about like, oh, here's like a cryptocurrency wallet. Here's an app, and then download Coinbase, and then like swap into. It's not going to happen, especially in the context that we're dealing with. So the swap deposit that Zottle also makes possible inside the app directly also changed the game for me.
Yeah, that's been huge. Yeah.
That's been huge because what you are able to do with that is you're able to accept, like, you're able to get paid privately, not just pay privately. So CrossPay is paying privately, but then the swap deposit feature also built into Zottle, you might think of it as just a currency swap. But if you think about it a little bit more cleverly, if you set up a currency swap with yourself as the recipient and somebody else as the person who will fulfill the trade by sending the money, they send whatever it is they want to pay in, Bitcoin, Tron, Solana, Polygon, Trump coin, Melania coin, as I like to say, one of us. Then they send the token they want. We end up getting the shielded ZEC. And so what they experience as a simple payment, we've set up to become a cross-currency swap deposit where we get paid. So now that swap screen, I don't look at it as swap anymore. I look at it as get paid privately. And so it's an additional use case for that same exact interface. And that means that I don't have to have a conversation with someone who's like not in the mindset to have a conversation about crypto tokens, about how to pay me. And that was the big unlock for me, because that is what let me start earning ZEC directly.
Yeah. I think too, now that I'm thinking about it more, I did go to your workshop after having a fiat bank account frozen. So I think that I came in with the lens of like, I really need to know how to use this, and I need to like know the whole process and all of the steps and how I can like pay my rent. Yes. So I came in already with that lens, which I think helped. And then afterwards, I also just fooled around with everything. So I was like, okay, now I could teach someone else how to use this, because I will need to be teaching people how to use this.
Right. And again, in your case, also, you're teaching clients and folks who are trying to pay you in that. Correct. Because it's a way that you're now accepting income. But now you're doing education around it for other vendors, but also just...
Which is great.
folks in general, which is also awesome.
Yeah.
And not the same, right? Like it's a little bit of a different educational.
It is
flip.
different. It is different. And it's so nice because also just having more people care about privacy again, too, has been really nice.
Because we care about it. Because like that's the thing. Like most people don't care about privacy. I find that most people are not having this conversation. For many people, in my experience, especially with this in the context of customers, I'm talking about it in terms of convenience, less fees, reliability, and also just that it's like it's available globally, and that you don't have to have a conversation. Oh, what app do you have? Oh, what's your username on that app? Like, oh, I need to get this other
and then people
tool.
typing things in wrong, and
or
then
people typing in things that are dangerous for us and not them.
It's
And
like a whole thing.
It's that it's a problem. So the consistency is a big benefit. The reliability, the fact that it becomes private is a bonus for them, even though it's like a real important thing on this vendor side.
Yeah, people saying things that are not dangerous for them, but dangerous for other people who are. This is like there's this whole like I have nothing to hide kind of mentality, which is where this comes from. And that's the thing, is someone that you care about, someone who's doing you some kind of service or friendship or anything like that. They could be your family, it could be whoever. Those people might have something to hide, and especially like if you're the vulnerability, then we have a problem.
Well, also, what's ironic about that, right, is like there is a way in which they are not aware of their own vulnerability, right? And so it's not that they're not vulnerable. In fact, mere associate, and the irony also is that some of them actually also do have a sense that like, I don't want to be associated with you. I'm like, then use a private payment. Oh my God. Like, it's so important for you. But their understanding of privacy is limited to their own experience running into problems or running into the places where they have been seen. So they experience, right, like, oh, if I give someone my phone, I don't want them to see the screen. And I'm like, that is a vulnerability. But you know what else is also a vulnerability? The fact that you're texting me on a plain text messenger. And so like I have a ton of resources for kind of like discrete messaging and such. But payments are a part of that, because it doesn't matter if like our communications privacy is perfect when all of a sudden the break in that privacy is the fact that you've paid somebody, right? In other words, payment privacy is communications privacy. It's just for money, which is why I like to call Zottle the Signal app for money.
Yeah, I like that. Do you also teach other kinds of apps and things? I should be asking Justine.
The short answer is yes.
Oh, do I teach other kinds of apps?
Well, I mean, you're
things?
getting into the
No.
but you're getting into teaching these workshops, right? Like this is kind of no.
Sure.
You're not.
No, but I'm not. No, I'm not teaching any other app-based things. I teach people how to make latex underwear occasionally.
So earlier though, I mentioned that there were two things I wanted to dig in more to, and then we started talking about Zottle and all the features of Zottle. Latex garments.
Sure.
What can you tell me about latex garments and how it brought you to Zcash?
Gosh, I think it started just like a larger journey in fetish world and everything. And funnily enough, actually, as we're talking, I'm thinking about the first latex business that I ever worked for, and how the owner of that business was like banned from every payment platform in like the early 2000s because they were like, oh, it's too associated with sex work, etc. And so she also, I'm like, oh, well, the business should still be open now. I mean, it was around for 30 years, but I'm like, oh, it would have been great for her to even use this because, right, anything even tangentially related to any kind of adult entertainment is usually so banned and so restricted by any sort of fiat system. So
I would say just also to add to that, I've also been contacted and have heard stories of people who are not involved in any kind of sex work. There's no commercial intent behind it, but they have a PayPal donation account, for example, and sometimes they just have not even that risky by my standard anyway, drawings that they've posted occasionally on social media and been like, hey, if you like this, like, here's a tip jar and it's PayPal, and bang, their PayPal account gets killed. Wow. And it's like, again, put up a Zcash address. That's it. That solves the problem.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm excited about today. I want to check out the workshops, but we've been down here all day. So and we'll be down here all day today too. Are there more workshops planned, other events planned where the two of you will be, or either of you individually will be doing this kind of thing?
I mean, I'm gonna also piggyback off of the latex thing. I'm really excited about the CipherPay workshop because I can integrate that into an online shop, and I would love to do that. So I'm really excited about that workshop, so I'll be there. Yeah.
That's actually going to be hosted, facilitated by our other team member, Cosmo, who's been working with Milo to get the CipherPay integration, like to understand the CipherPay integration and to showcase it. We also have a CipherPay integration here at the Blockspäti for the Web0 merch. So the Web0 team was also, we've also been working with them before this all started to not just showcase the Zottle app interaction in person, but the demo of having an online store where you can check out off a Shopify integration or a WooCommerce integration, or CipherPay has a number of them. And you see, for example, pay with Visa, MasterCard, credit card, right? Pay with Google Wallet, pay with Zec. And it's all just, awesome. It's even like side by side, full parity. And that's really beautiful to see on a web interface. It opens up the door to things like any e-commerce situation. Clip stores, online content sales are also a huge problem with Visa and MasterCard rails, etc. So CipherPay is a really neat additional option for that. And that workshop is happening today. I know you're going to a bunch of other like latex fetish events around in general. So maybe if you go to those, you can get a Zcash introduction from you at some point.
Oh, yeah. It's like already in the works.
I love that. And
well
then,
integrated. Yeah.
Come for the latex, stay for the private money.
Or the other way around.
Or the other, well, there you go. Start with the private money and then end up with latex. And then I and Milo have some nebulous plans to continue our, I guess, tours-ish thing. I don't know. We're traveling the country doing this a lot, but the next hope is going to the Exotica conferences, which we were at. For example, we were at Chicago's Exotica a couple months ago, which this is an online adult entertainment conference. It's a porn convention. And we had a booth there showing performers how to use Zcash as a payment ecosystem that cannot ban them. So we're going to continue to do that in the future. And there's some additional conference lineups, but I don't have a schedule in front of me, and I'm not the logistics part of this team. I say looking off camera.
That's okay. It's going in the archive, so this is more
okay,
of like
perfect,
looking
great.
Back, and yeah, you won't be judged. Everything's good.
Lovely. Great. Judgment-free zone, please.
Yeah, totally. Well, this has been really great, and like we talked about the whole like these connecting the dots, what was so valuable for you when you saw the dots connect, the dots connected, and I think that like you can accept Zcash with your Zottle wallet. We have the point of sale with CipherPay. We've got all these different ways to swap and to pay with it. It's like the whole ecosystem, the whole.
And you don't actually need a lot of apps. That's the other thing. Like one of the things about this space is that people are fragmenting so much of it, and very much like a messaging app situation, right? Oh, do you have WhatsApp? Do you have Signal? Do you have SimpleX? Do you have what all the things? And with literally just 2 apps, I think like if you just take a crypto-backed credit card of some variety, so any of the ones that I mentioned earlier, and their stablecoin wallet or whatever, and then you have Zottle, with just those 2 apps, that's it. You no longer need a bank account. End of story. Just that too. And you still have access to, right, the stablecoins. You have access to cross-pay, so you can pay in a ton. And then if you want to have an online inventory automation system that integrates with that, there's CipherPay. And with that 3, you've covered basically 99, maybe 100% of all of your needs. So that's a really different game also, because it changes the landscape of the cognitive load that someone needs to have in their mind at one time, right? To actually use it in reality.
I think that's incredibly valuable. Yeah, totally.
Sweet.
Doing great.
Sweet.
Thank you, Justine, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thanks again, Violet, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me back.
Not the first time, and I'm sure it won't be the last.
Haven't yet published the other one, actually? The one from
that's okay.
Argentina?
We're also working on it. We've got a
know.
backlog of like almost 100 of these recordings that we're going to we're starting with the Berlin Blockchain Week stuff from last year, and we're going to be releasing that like chronologically just to get ourselves a head start on editing and all of this. And then we're going to start putting some of the other stuff in.
I got to start this 2 trail. You got to go parallel. Excel with like all the recordings where I'm clothed and all the recordings where I'm not, and I just have to like treat them differently so that they're not just in one sequential backlog.
Yeah. It's a tricky thing to get organized.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you both. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
Hope
you
to catch
so
your
much.
workshop later.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.